What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. So first and foremost, I hope everyone had a great weekend. Of course, the All-Star break was over the weekend. Some fun events, some somewhat disappointing events, of course, as well. Mostly the dunk contest, but the last team I wanted to do post-trade deadline, that being the Detroit Pistons. So, of course, the Detroit Pistons have made a couple of trades this year. One that was like a salary dump with Bagley, and now they've also traded Bojan and Alec Burks over to the Knicks. And while it's not like the biggest trade in the world, it was definitely probably the biggest trade at the deadline. And of course, this team is going to have a bunch of cap space now season. So this is basically the last team I wanted to do that has anything to do with the deadline. So let's just straight into rebuilding the Pistons today. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you are new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. We are currently on the road to 50,000 subs, so your subscription to help us reach that goal would be greatly appreciated and very awesome of you. Other than that, let's talk about the Pistons. So, of course, the star here is Cade Cunningham. Jalen Duren's also really intriguing. For whatever reason, 2K never allows the Pistons to keep Jalen Duren. They always decline his team option, which makes literally no sense at all. Jaden Ivey, of course, has emerged a little bit after being, on the bench to start the season. Asar Thompson, still an intriguing rookie. Sasser, they definitely have a really good young core. Detroit does have a fantastic young core. They brought in Fontecchio from the Jazz, of course. They traded away Bagley to salary dump, and of course they traded Bojan and Alec Burks to get some second round picks. So and then Grimes, of course, is the big acquisition. So Grimes, pretty solid get as well for Detroit, whether they decide to keep him for the long term or trade him. I still think a bunch of contending teams would probably be interested in Grimes' services if the Pistons decided not to keep him going forward. So other than that, of course, the rest of the season, I mean, this team sucks. We know where we're going to be. We're going to be a lottery team, and that's basically where our full focus is going to be for the rest of the season. So tankathon for the rest of the year, hoping to get the #1 overall pick and add another exciting young player to this team. Very good young core as it is already, looking to make it even better. So let's go ahead. And then, of course, one thing this team finally did is they cut Killian Hayes, which is probably a long time coming. But we're going to go ahead and sum it the rest of the year. And, oh, they also traded Monte Morris. Forgot to mention that. So they definitely sold a few pieces off the deadline, which rightfully so. You're Detroit and you're not very good right now. But let's get to work and try to make them better. Today's video is brought to you by PrizePicks. PrizePicks is a player props app that's available on mobile or desktop. Not only do they have the NBA, they have all kinds of sports outside of just the NBA. They got golf, Valorant, NASCAR, so many different options. That's not even all the sports that are even on the board. They got darts on here. I think there's power slap. You can watch people slap themselves in the face. It's crazy how many variety there is on PrizePicks. But the reason why I'm showing you PrizePicks today is because there is a free square on Nikola Jokic for the rest of the season. If you want to build a season or rest of the season entry, you're allowed to do that. 2 players is 3 times your entry, all the way up to 6 players being 25 times your entry. So, of course, we're going to take the free square on Nikola Jokic, but if you wanted to go ahead and go to triple doubles, double doubles, 40-plus point games, you think Donovan Mitchell is going to score over 2.5 40-plus point games for the rest of the season, click more on the projection. If you think it's less, click less on the projection. It's simply you against the projections. It's that simple. You're facing no one else but the numbers. If you want to sign for PrizePicks, use code Crushables to match first deposit. Dollar for dollar, up to $100. I've been using PrizePicks since 2021. Absolutely love it. And of course, the tool that I use on PrizePicks now is ZGF's optimizer and correlation tool. While there's not a whole lot of sports going on right now, there's all kinds of variety on the optimizer as well. Basically, it gives you the best plays without you having to do any research whatsoever. Usually when it's a 54.3 and above, it is a green square, which means it's a great play. But there is some decent plays, more like Sabonis under 23.5. Discrepancy here. There's only one book. So this isn't the best example. There's only one book listing at 22.5, of course, which you could, or basically the odds favor the under of 23.5 right now is basically why this is a good play and it's recommending the under. But there's not a lot of good examples on the board at the moment. But still, I love this tool because it's made me a profitable sports bettor over the long term. Same thing with Jaylen Brown over 5.5 rebounds. Every single book is favoring the over. Same line, but minus 140 odds on him going over 5.5 rebounds. But if you want to go ahead, check out any of these tools, all links down in the description below. Let's get back to the rebuild. So here are your usual awards, of course. Let's just go ahead and skim through that. And then I'm assuming we're not going to have anybody crazy. We might have an all rookie appearance from Asar. And yeah, I was wondering if we'd get Sasser as well, which we do, which is awesome. But let's go ahead and see who wins the championship. Obviously, we're nowhere near this point, so let's just see what happens. So you got the Knicks with Bojan making it all the way to the NBA Finals to play the Nuggets, and they are going to win the championship. So The Knicks get OG Anunoby, Bojan, and Alec Burks, and it turns into a championship at least in 2K's mind, which is fun. But let's go to the lottery. Of course, this is going to be a big first step to this rebuild. Are we going to get lucky? We're going to get a top 3 pick here. Where as bad as we are, we have to hope that this pick at least stays in the top 3. Of course, one player I would love to get. I mean, there's really no one I'm targeting in particular, but let's see what we get. And we get number 6. Dude, that is tough. If you're Detroit and you were this bad all year and you fell to 6, that would really suck, which is possible, man. It's possible. It really is. So not great. Not great at all. Really, really disappointing, but we have to work with it. So at pick number 6 overall, we'll just see who falls to us, and we'll take whoever's on the board. And of course, with so much young talent, this team could eventually consolidate into like a bigger trade. Detroit is not a free agency destination, as we all know, which is why I'm not sure what they'll do with this cap space they're going to have. Of course, if you're Detroit, one thing Troy Weaver has done is take on bad contracts in the past, which is something we can still do with the cap space, but we'll see. So let's see how the draft goes for us. Number 1, Nikola is going to the Jazz. Number 2, Alex Sarr going to the Blazers. As a Blazers fan, Alex Sarr is my dream scenario this offseason in the draft. Rockets, Cody Williams. That would have been a great pick for us as well. Kobe Walter going to he's from Baylor. He's going to Washington. And then Isaiah Collier going to the Spurs. So we have our choice between like Ron Holland, Zachary Satcher, Montez Buzelis, Robert Dillingham, Klingon, so I kind of want to take, I could take Zachary Satcher. I don't watch college basketball. I don't watch G League Ignite. So I don't know how good these guys have done over the season. I know I saw some news about Ron Holland out for the rest of the season. But I think I'm going to take Montez Buzelis here with this selection. 6'8" forward gives us a lot of variety of what we can do with our lineup. So we're going to go ahead and take Montez Buzelis. So we're going to do that. And then we'll take, why not? We'll take Zach Edey in round 2. I know he's a big out of Purdue that a lot of people don't think his game is going to translate to the NBA if he does declare. Satcher was a 78. Might not have been a bad pick either, but I'm okay with this. So Zach Edey's a 75. Sean Stewart, we're going to go ahead and sign as well. So welcome to Detroit, all of you guys. Evan Fournier's contract, we won't accept. Again, I don't understand why 2K automatically believes that Detroit should just decline Duran's team option. What sense does that make? It makes literally no sense at all. Qualifying offers, Malachi Flynn, Funtakio. I do want to keep him if possible. Wiseman, I have no interest in keeping. Flynn, I have no interest in keeping. Simone, on the other hand, wouldn't mind keeping him. So, free agency. Again, we have all this cap space. What are we going to do with it is the big question. So, we have Cade and Sasser. That right now, as my point guard rotation, is absolutely locked in. There's no need for me to ever get a point guard with these two guys on rookie contracts. Cade Cunningham will extend, of course, and Sasser has like 3 years left in his deal. So, that is locked in. Grimes, I'm not sure how long we'll keep him if we do keep him. Again, I feel like there's a lot of teams that wouldn't mind trading like depending on how good of a season he has, but 3-and-D guards, I think would be valuable, especially 6'5", more of a wing. Those are valuable in the NBA. I wouldn't be too surprised if some team was willing to give up like a protected first for him. Buzelis, Asar Thompson looks pretty good at our forward spot. We can mess with this if we need to, but I like it the way it is right now. Stewart, don't really want to view him as my long-term starting forward, to be completely transparent with you. Zach Edey might be ready to be our backup 5 next year, already a 75. But yeah, I think at this point, which we could slide Buzelis there if we really, truly wanted to. He does go down, but I think we could address our power forward spot if we wanted to address any position. So let's go see what options there are. So, of course, there's LeBron James. You got Paul George. You have Siakam, Maxey, James Harden, Claxton, Joe Val, Malik Monk, OG Anunoby, Miles Bridges, Isaiah Hartenstein. So, in the past, I did a Pistons rebuild not too long ago, and I signed Miles Bridges. I'm not going to do that today. It'd be the same thing over again. But in my mind, if there was a realistic free agent for Detroit to get and to go overpay, it would be Miles Bridges. But I'm not doing that today just because I did it in another video recently. Let's see. Kelly Oubre, Conley, Saric. Yeah, after that, Sadiq Bey, we could bring him back to Detroit. Not a lot of good options if you're looking for a 4. Patrick Williams, you could go overpay if you truly wanted to. Caleb Martin. Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot of great options in free agency. I don't really want to make a trade. Honestly, our best option might be to sign like Patrick Williams. So I just take a chance on him. Like that's kind of where I'm leaning towards right now, just because there's not great options here. Simone, Terrence Davis, and of course the way you get Chicago to not extend that or to offer it or to match the offer sheet is like give him way too much money than he deserves, which is a Detroit thing to do. That's happened in the past with like Jeremy Grant. But 9 points, 40% shooting from 3. I mean, you really can't beat that. Another wing defender. We might come back to that. I am going to search the trade market first to see if we can maybe go get a power forward in the market. If not, we'll probably just go offer a offer sheet to Patrick Williams, to be completely honest with you. Yeah, there really isn't a realistic option as far as who we could go trade for at this moment. So I think we're going to go ahead and offer Patrick Williams an offer sheet. So we're going to offer him more money than he probably deserves, but we're going to do it to try to get Chicago not to match it. So let's see what Chicago does. They do not match the offer sheet. We are going to match Funtakio's offer sheet. And just like that, Wiseman, we are going to not match that one. He can go to Orlando. That's totally fine with me. So just like that, we have our big free agent, which is Patrick Williams. Is not really a big free agent, obviously, but we'll take it. So Cade Cunningham, Sasser, Grimes, Ivy would be our shooting guard rotation. We have Buzelis, Fontakio now, Stewart, and then Zach Edey. Do we really want to rely on Zach Edey to be our backup 5 next year? Probably not. So what we could do is we can move Stewart to the backup 5. We could keep him at the 4, but I'll keep Stewart at the 4 just because he's developed a 3-point shot. So as far as the backup 5 is concerned, we could bring back Drummond. Gogo Badate is out here. I'm probably going to sign someone to like a 1-year deal and then be ready to put Zach Edey in the rotation next year. So I'm going to go Gogo Badate 1 year in Detroit. That way we're not like committed to him long term. And that is how we'll use our money. Not great. Nothing too crazy. But we are trying to be more competitive next year. Patrick Williams should help with that. And then Gogo Badate had a solid year in Orlando. And of course, player progression is going to help a ton as well. So Malachi Flynn, Cade's up, Jaden Ivey's up, Asar Thompson's up, Sasser, Williams is up, Grimes and Stewart's up. So yeah, looking pretty solid. Quentin Grimes is going to be a free agent next offseason. So there is a chance at the deadline we do stop and move him for a protected first, just because like I said, I think there would be some teams that wouldn't mind trying to get him, depending on how good of a season he has. But yeah, I definitely think there would be a market for him for sure. So let's go ahead and see what this season's about to look like. So if we take a look, we got to cut a couple guys. So I'm gonna have to cut Malcolm and Stewart, unfortunately, and we can go straight into the season. So Pirates going on a 17th overall. Proficiency is 3.5 under Monty Williams. So we'll leave it at pace and space for now. And then this is what our rotation would look like. So Cade, Ivy, Asar, Patrick Williams, Jalen Duren, Sasser, Grimes, Goga Badate, and Isaiah Stewart, and Montez Buzelis. Looking pretty solid in my opinion. And now we can go ahead and shrink or put Zach Edey in the G League. And then that will be what we do. So we're going to summate this season. We'll see how the season goes. Hopefully this team is a little bit better. Quentin Grimes, again, depending on how good of a season he has, if he's like shooting 40% from 3, I might look to move him just because I think it could make some sense to do so. But if I do stop at the deadline, I will show you. If we're good, maybe I just keep him, but we'll see what happens. So we are stopped at the trade deadline as we are 27-24 on the season. And funny enough, as I'm recording this, Jack Vaughn just got fired from the Nets. So yeah, that's interesting. Gets fired on his break. It's like that famous quote from Friday. How you get fired on your day off? Yeah, that's funny. But regardless, let's get straight into, like I said, we are going to trade Quentin Grimes because I just feel like we could go pay. We're going to have to pay Cade Cunningham. Ivy's contract is coming up soon. Grimes is probably not going to like command a ton, don't get me wrong, but I think I'd just rather have the first round pick. And this is also going to allow Buzelis to get more minutes as well, which is why I just think this makes more sense. So there's a lot of good trades. I was kind of scanning through the trade finder to see what trades I was offered, and there were some good ones. We were definitely getting some first round picks offered to us. And my favorite one by far, I believe, which I haven't looked at all of them, but I think my favorite one is probably this trade with the Kings. So we get a top 3 protected 2027 first round pick. Trey Lyles contract is going to be off the books after the season. So that gives us, some options in the offseason. We get a first round pick, and then Boston Celtics were even offering me a first round pick. But I would have to take on Pritchard's contract, and Sasser's our backup point guard long term. And then of course, 76ers were offering me Paul Reed, which is great. And I love this as well. But I just feel like Zach Edey, as much as I don't know if his game will translate to the NBA, he's going to come back from the G League and probably be pretty good, I imagine. So I'm going to bank on that, I guess. So yeah, we're going to do this trade with the Kings. We got a top 3 protected 2027 first. I could also see the Kings being interested in Grimes for sure. So we're going to go ahead and do this trade. And that's going to allow more minutes to Montez Buzelis, which is awesome. Gets 18 minutes. I don't know what he was getting before, but it's going to offer him more minutes. And I might even extend this even more. Let's give him more. Let's give him even more minutes. So let's give him like 26. Yeah, so we'll do that. So Stewart's starting, I guess, over Patrick Williams, which is fine, whatever. We're 3 games over 500 at the moment, so we might be in the play-in of the playoffs. Right now, we are locked in the playoffs, but we shall see how the rest of the season goes. The contract extension deadline's coming up, so let's see if there's anybody interested in re-signing here. And we're not there yet, assuming it's coming up. Where's the extension deadline? Unless it was just never going to pop up. Maybe it's right here. And no, never mind. Maybe it passed already. All right, never mind. We're not getting contract extensions. All right, I'll see you guys at the end of the season. So Montez Buzelis does make an all-rookie first team, which is really cool to see. Obviously wanted to see that. And we are in the playoffs. So we made it straight into the playoffs, which is awesome. So we turned around a really bad season into a playoff season. Cade with 25, obviously a must re-sign. Ivy 15, 14 and 10 from Jalen Duren, 12 from Sasser, 12 from Montez, and 11 from Asar, and then 10 for Patrick Williams, 9, and then 7 from Trey Lyles. So let's go ahead and see if we can beat Philadelphia in round 1. So this is our first time here in a while. You know, it'd be awesome if we can get out round 1, but yeah, looks like we might, and we do. So we actually beat the 76ers in 7. Yeah, if you're Philadelphia, it's probably time to just hang it up and just give up. If you're losing to Detroit, that's not great for you. Somebody current against Cleveland. We're going to get swept by them, of course. But we are off to a pretty good start. Cavaliers, Mavericks, and you're going to have the Mavericks going to win the championship. Luka Doncic gets it done. LeBron James going to retire this year. He didn't retire last year, so I'll leave him be. Draft lottery time. Of course, our pick is not going to matter this year. It's going, I believe, to the Knicks. The Jazz or the Thunder get number 1 via the Utah Jazz. And then we are going, and then our pick is going to the Knicks, which sucks, but it's all good. Staff signing, which we probably don't need another rookie anyway, so that's probably better. Joe Mazzulla, Jack Vaughn. Hey, Jack Vaughn, you just got fired. You want to come be an assistant coach? Why not? Let's do it. All right, so the big man coach. Let's go grab Bradley, and then we'll probably be good with that. All right, let's go to draft night, and let's figure out what we're gonna do here. Do we have a pick at all? I don't think we do. And we have a couple second-round picks. We have an early second-round pick at that. So let's go see what we can get with this early second-round pick. We have Bayfall. I don't know how to say his name. Garrett Diaw. Why not? Let's add some more big man depth. You can never have enough. Big man, 6'11", Arkansas center. And we got a 74, so not too shabby. Probably spend some time in the G League. Jalen Duren, Ivy Asar, Sasser, Zach Edey. We're going to accept all of those. Qualifying offers. Cade is a free agent. Again, he is a must re-sign. We will do that. Trey Lyles, I'm not so worried about. Cade, we're just going to go ahead and throw all the money on the table at him so we can get him locked in. We're going to lock in Cade. We're going to renounce everybody here. Don't have any interest in re-signing anyone here. All right, so free agency. Still have some money to throw if we want to. All right, so Cade, Sasser. Again, that rotation's looking good. Shooting guard, we just traded Grimes, so we could use a backup too. Montez Buzelis, Asar Thompson, I'm still cool with. Patrick Williams and Stewart. And then Jalen Duren and Zach Edey. So Zach Edey, I guess I'm going to rely on to be our backup 5 next year. Stewart, backup 4 is totally fine. He even took over for Patrick Williams at one point. So I guess the one position to maybe address that needs a backup position is the shooting guard spot. We bring Cam Thomas in. Quentin Grimes, we're not going to re-sign, of course. Buddy Hield, Jaden Hardy, Jordan Hawkins. Jordan Hawkins would be amazing. I don't know why he's unrestricted. It makes literally no sense. But THT, Max Christie, KCP, Landry Shamet, Edmund Sumner. I actually think I'm cool with just like signing. Well, we're going to have to sign a backup guard. We need depth. So I'm going to just sign someone like simplistic that doesn't matter too much. So we can bring Cameron Reddish in or Oladipo. Let's sign Springer to a deal. Why not? We have money. We could sign Springer to a contract. He probably won't play a ton. I'm cool with the diamond rotation I have currently. And then we have the ability to still make a trade if we wanted to. So like we're not like done yet. Trade season definitely still could happen for us, but I just know how young this roster is and how much it can develop. So yeah, I'm actually cool with this. So let's go straight into next season, and let's see what this is truly about to look like. Pretty excited about our chances of being like a potential top 4 seed next year, just because we were the 5th seed and won a series. So development, obviously on our side, have a good feeling about next year. So we're going to load this draft class. Let's get straight into next season, see what this is about to look like. So Paris Luna, 7th overall. Proficiency is 4-star, pace and space. Here's rotation. Cade, Ivy, Asar, Patrick Williams, Jalen Duren, Sasser, Montez Buzelis, Isaiah Stewart, and Zach Edey, Simone Fontecchio. I am just going to run a 9-man rotation. We're going to shrink bench utilization down quite a bit. And this is what it'll look like. So looking pretty solid. Zach Edey is the backup 5. Springer and Simone are out of the rotation. We're going to send both Springer and Fall to the G League. Actually, Springer we can't, so that's fine. All right, Cade, Ivy, Asar, Patrick Williams, Jalen Duren. I'm excited about this. I think we should be a playoff team at the very least. And if I do stop at the deadline to make like a big move, I will show you, because that's definitely a possibility. So another really solid season. Decided not to make a move just yet, but if we don't win a championship this year, then of course we can look to make a move for sure. But we end up being the first seed. I mean, it's just the youth on our side. 2K loves young teams, so not too surprised with the results of this. You had 27 from K, 17 from Ivy, 15, 13. Montez up to an 81 is awesome as well. Sasser, Star 12, Patrick Williams with 12, and Stewart with 8. So let's see if we can go, win a championship this year. So Suggs, Anthony Black, Jet Howard, Paulo Banchero, Wendell Carter. Somebody current round against the Orlando Magic, and we are going to beat them in 5. So great start. Now we get the Cleveland Cavaliers, who did beat us last year. Somebody current round against them. This time we just absolutely mopped the floor with them. We beat them in 5. Now we get Charlotte in round 2, who have signed Franz Wagner. They have LaMelo, Brandon Miller, Franz Wagner, Toppin, Mark Williams, Trey Mann. Pretty solid team in Charlotte. Let's see if we can beat them. And we are going to beat them in 4. So far, we've just basically just ruined the competition. But now we do run into the Oklahoma City Thunder, who have Cooper Flag on their team. So this won't be an easy one. But, yeah, we lose in 5. So we lose, which sucks. So I think if Stewart is still under contract, which I believe he is, right? So, yeah, he has 1 year left in his deal. Patrick Williams has a lot of years left in his deal. So we're not going to do anything this offseason. We're going to wait still. We're going to wait it out. Bulls get number 1, and then we have 28 in this draft, which I'm not really too concerned about. But what we're going to do is we are going to go through this offseason, keep pretty much everything the same, and at the deadline, we are making a big move. No matter what, that is a promise. We're making a trade. So to go for it. So this is number 28. So let's add another extra asset to help us potentially make this move. So we'll sign Dash Daniels. I don't know. Out of Australia. Welcome. Just give me an asset that I can use at the deadline potentially. 70 overall. May not be too much. Asar, Sasser, Bazelis. We got to sign someone in free. We got to extend Ivy, Edie, and Duran. Which actually I don't even know how good Edie did last year. I didn't want even pay attention to that. But we'll check when we re-sign him. So he is not well, one thing we know we're doing is we're re-signing Ivy, we're re-signing Duran. Like that's a no-brainer. Probably won't extend Simone. He wasn't even playing in the rotation like I thought he was going to. So we'll probably just let him go. So we'll do that. He can go somewhere else. And then Zach Edey, I need to check how he did. I also wouldn't just mind signing like a better backup center probably. Goga Badazze, Kevon Looney. But how did Zach Edey even do? I wasn't even paying attention to that, to be honest with you. So he averaged 5 and 3 with half a block. So nothing too crazy, to be honest. I could sign B-Ball Paul, which I think I'm going to do. I'm going to sign Paul Reed to be our backup 5. I'm not keeping Zach Edey. He might even go up. He might go up even more. Just kidding. Paul Reed's going back to 76ers, so we're not getting him. Okay. Other backup centers, potentially. Go Badazze. You know what? We have Fall as well. I'll just get Zach Edey back to his qualifying offer. I assume he's going to go up in overall. If he doesn't, then I'll take the L. Whatever. So let's see. Free agency day 12, and I'm assuming he's back on his qualifying offer. He is. And he does not move. But Fall is up to a 77, so he could be our backup 5. All right. I'm ready for next year. So, at the deadline, 100% making a trade. Probably going to be looking at the power forward spot, to be honest with you. Looking to replace Patrick Williams. So, I'm probably going to include Williams, Stewart in a trade. And I'm so confident whatever we do is going to end a championship. I'm going to auto-generate these rookies because I have a good feeling about this year. So, here's rotation once again. Cade, Ivy, Asar, Patrick Williams, Duran, Buzelis, Sasser, Stewart, Zach Edey. I will see you guys at the deadline to make the final move that, leads to a championship because that's what we're doing. Well, I do believe we're going to have a really hard time pulling this off. I am still going to try it. So who is it that I'm going for, you're asking? Devin Booker is also interesting to try to go for him, which it looks like the Suns want to start Thompson. So we could probably get Devin Booker if we truly wanted to, but that's not the position I'm worried about. It's the power forward spot. And clearly, the guys we should be talking to is the Boston Celtics. They are selling. Anybody could be had. So we are going to try to get this team appears to be willing to trade Derek White, Go Badazze, and Peyton Pritchard. But that's not who I want. I want Jason Tatum. If you're going to give me anybody, this is the guy I want. Now, can we pull this off? I have no clue. This Kings pick actually could help us out a ton. So that's awesome. That Kings pick could help out a ton. Other than that, we have like nothing else. So as far as pick compensation. So we're going to have to throw in probably... All right, Patrick Williams is going to go in here. Isaiah Stewart's going to go in here. And then let's say Daniels. Does he have trade value? He does. He actually has 2 stars. I'm going to offer as many picks as possible first to see if this does anything for Boston. I highly doubt it. But they say no. Yeah, this is going to be really hard to pull off. So the chance of us getting this done probably going to be very impossible. Asar Thompson, I could trade. I think if Asar Thompson was in the trade, they may say yes to this. He's got 4.5 or 3.5 star value. And then I will also offer Zach Edey, or not Zach Edey, Bufall, or however you say his name. I don't know how to say his name. Bofall, maybe that's how you say it. Zach Edey has no value either. All right, 2029 first round pick, and then you give me Landry Shamet. And why does he have 2-star value? That making no sense. Artis Morris, and we're still not close. Cam Scott, trade's illegal. Trade's illegal. All right, we're including 1, 2. Why is this? Oh, the Pistons would require too much money. All right, so we are actually in a money problem now. All right, so I will offer Isaiah Stewart. All right, so we could do that. So now this big gigantic offer to the Celtics for Jason Tatum. Trading a star sucks, but if we get Tatum, that probably guarantees us a championship. They don't agree to it. Kind of figure this would be really tough to pull off. So now we're gonna be able to get Tatum. My backup plan was one of these other power forwards that we can look at. So that was my best offer for the Celtics. They say no. Barnes, Jabari Smith Jr. was someone I was definitely paying attention to as well. He'd actually be like a perfect fit. So I might just go talk to the Rockets about Jabari Smith Jr. So let's see. He is on a contract, 12 points, 44% shooting from 3. He's basically exactly what we need, but he's just an upgrade. Well, he's not much of an upgrade from Patrick Williams. We could probably try to keep Patrick Williams out of this trade and just do like maybe Springer and Isaiah Stewart. Oh, I can't. All right, let's say not Buzelis. Let's say it's Springer and also Dash Daniels. And then you guys can give me whatever cheap contract you guys have. So Romeo Langford. All right. And then we'll also offer, not this Kings pick, because I don't want to offer that. But let's say it's let's say it's a couple unprotected. So Stewart, Springer, Dash Daniels, 2 firsts for Jabari. What do you say? They agree. Okay. Jabari, not bad. It's not no Jason Tatum, but Jabari, pretty awesome. So he's an 85 overall. Fits exactly, kind of fits right into our rotation. Patrick Williams would keep as well. So another really good shooter, or at least in 2K, 30% shooting from 3. All right, 44-8 on the season. Jabari Smith was the final move. Will that lead us to a championship? I really hope so. Tatiana Daughtry wins Executive of the Year. That is a fantastic name. Monty Webb's Coach of the Year. So yeah, this season, of course, went exactly as planned. Fantastic season. None of this matters if we can't get back to the finals, though. So we got there very, very easily last year. So hopefully we could just do that process again. We're going to beat the Raptors in 5. So let's see if we can get right back to the finals. Player stats, just to look at this again. Here were your player stats in the season. Brooklyn in round 2. Casey Wallace, Connie Carr, Mikal, Capella, and Claxton. It's a decent team, but it's nobody that should beat us. We get the Pacers now. Halliburton, Cameron Thomas, Mathurin, Jarris Walker, Turner, Siakam. This team might beat us. We'll see. Hopefully that doesn't happen. And we are... As I hit my mic, we beat them in 7. Very, very close series. But now we get the Thunder once again. Do the Thunder dethrone us again? Of course, they have Cooper Flag. 1-0 start. Game 2, 2-0. None of that matters because we are going to sweep the Thunder. Let's go. That's how you end it off. Cade Cunningham, Finals MVP. They beat us last year. We returned the favor. And just like that, we'll end on that note. I promise you guys, we're going to make a trade we did with Jabari Smith Jr. And it ends in a championship. So yeah, final post-trade deadline rebuild, I believe, unless if there was a team I'm forgetting about, but I'm pretty sure this is it. Don't know what we're turning our attention to yet, or to next, but of course, the rest of the season is in full effect, starting Thursday. Pretty excited about that. Of course, we'll have the playoffs, the lottery. It'll be a ton of fun. So make sure you're subscribed for the summer, because of course, you guys know summer is the busiest year for me. Thank you guys for watching. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.